Before the movie even properly begins, we're inside a story within a story. A conquistador and a young boy are moving through an empty desert, following a map. They find a red circle drawn in the sand, and the conquistador says they're close. But there's a problem. The map is sealed inside a glass bottle, and the cork is stuck. He tries to smash the bottle against the sand. It won't break. The only thing in the desert hard enough to break it on is the boy standing right next to him. The conquistador lifts the bottle above his head, and then we pull back. We're no longer inside the story. We're watching a man write it. He's hunched over a laptop with a drink beside him. His name is Bauman. He's an author. And just before he can finish that scene, something falls somewhere behind him. He looks up. There's a silhouette of a woman standing in the stairwell. He lifts his light slowly toward it. Nobody there. He lowers the light, and she's right beside him. He stands, startled, and she's gone again. Bauman opens an old box of family belongings. Postcards, photographs, all from Ireland. That's where his parents honeymooned. Beside the box, a container holding their ashes. Inside a smaller box, a revolver. Bauman books a flight to Ireland. He arrives at the hotel from the postcards and is greeted in the car park by a man named Fergal, who is standing next to a goat he's just killed with a crossbow. Inside the hotel, an old man, who turns out to be the owner, is in the middle of frightening two children with a local story. He describes a witch who casts spells on travelers, shackles them, and drags them on a tour of the underworld. She captures little boys specifically, and the things she does to them are left half-finished in the telling, implied rather than stated. Before he can reach the end of it, Bauman steps in and tells the children to go find their parents. When Bauman can't locate his room, a woman on staff named Fiona helps him. He asks about a specific redwood tree, the one his mother is standing in front of in one of the photographs. Fiona points him toward the woods. He finds the tree and spreads his parents' ashes there. On his way back through the woods, he encounters a man named Jerry living among the trees. Jerry is the kind of person who mixes magic mushrooms into goat's milk and drinks it regularly. Back at the hotel, Bauman tells Fiona about the novel he's working on. The conquistador ends up wandering into the desert to die. The bottle never opened. Fiona's reaction is immediate. Why would anyone write something that bleak? She says she won't read it if that's how it ends. Bauman tells her that a few of his books have been made into films, and that the filmmakers always attach a happy ending for the audience. Then he tells her something else. He says she reminds him of his mother. He explains that his parents came to this hotel on their honeymoon, and that they died a few years apart. His mother was murdered, shot coming home from work. The person responsible was too young to face legal punishment, though Bauman says they should have been hanged. His father, after that, became a different man. He drank until he died. Bauman asks whether the honeymoon suite might still be available. Fiona tells him it's locked. The owner sealed it after trapping a witch inside. She'd love to get the key and look around, she admits, but she's never been permitted to. She shows Bauman a book of local folklore. One page catches his attention. If you're ever chased by a witch, you draw a circle in chalk, and it will protect you. The hotel bellboy, Albee, joins them and adds his own account. He was standing outside the lift that goes up to the honeymoon suite one night when the doors open on their own. Something blew his hat off. He peered through the shutter with his lighter, and what he saw made him run. Bauman says, Hokum, the title of the film. It means nonsense, rubbish, a blend of the words humbug and hocus pocus. Albee mentions that he writes too and asks Bauman if he'll read his manuscript and give him advice. Bauman is not kind about it. He heats a spoon in a candle flame and burns Albee's hand to make him leave. Bauman has been drinking steadily since he arrived, steadily through every scene, in fact. When Albee finally goes, he leaves his voice recorder behind. Fiona picks it up to return it to Bauman's room. There's a do not disturb sign on the door. She has a feeling and asks Albee to open it anyway. Inside, they find Bauman in a state of crisis. He is alive, but barely. But before we get on with it, like the video, smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get more stories like this. Fiona's instinct to open that door is what saves him. We see a brief vision. Bauman in a lift, a witch wailing nearby, his mother appearing beside him. Then he wakes in a hospital bed. When he's well enough, he returns to the hotel to collect his belongings. He asks for Fiona. He's told she hasn't been seen since the night of the Halloween party, the night after she found him. That was now days ago. A hotel employee named Mal tells Bauman that the police want to speak to Jerry, the man in the woods, because Jerry's wife disappeared 10 years ago. Bauman asks whether anyone has searched the honeymoon suite. Mal says it's impossible, always locked. But the question doesn't leave Bauman. He goes back to the woods and finds Jerry. Jerry tells him that he snuck into the hotel to access the medicine cabinet, and while he was inside, the bell for the honeymoon suite rang. He saw what he believes was Fiona's ghost, pointing upward toward the bell. He says he's going back tonight to try to find her, and he wants Bauman with him. He also tells Bauman something about his wife, that he did kill her, but she was very ill and in serious pain. He adds, as if it settles the matter, that all of these things are real. You just need an open mind to see them. Bauman asks if he was drinking his magic milk when he saw Fiona. Jerry says of course he was. That's how he saw it. They go back that night. Jerry heads for the crossbow, but Fergal is waiting for him, chokes him out, and handcuffs him to bring to the police. Bauman is left alone in the hotel. The bell for the honeymoon suite rings. Bauman opens the locked lift and rides it up, drinking from his flask as he goes. The suite is exactly as it was left. Untouched, slowly decaying, a room sealed in time. There's an old four-post bed, and on a clock in the corner, a small carved boy who swings a golf club to ring a bell on the hour. Bauman drinks and falls asleep. What he dreams is not a dream in the usual sense. A child sits on a floor playing with a gun. It goes off. Milk and oranges scatter across the floor. A woman walks in, his mother, and goes to hold him as he sits watching television. She has a hole in her face. On the screen, a children's show plays, a host in a donkey costume called Jack the Jackass. The camera pulls back from the dream, and the donkey is there in the room, watching over Bauman while he sleeps. He wakes to find Mal standing in the suite. Mal explains the owner noticed the key was missing and sent him a check. They need to leave, he says. But Bauman has spotted a dumbwaiter built into the wall, a small service lift that connects to the basement, and he presses the button to call it up. Mal's reaction is immediate. They need to leave right now. Bauman doesn't move. Mal runs. The dumbwaiter reaches the top. Inside is Fiona. She's still wearing her Halloween costume from the night she disappeared. Mal locks Bauman inside the suite and flees. In a flashback, we see what happened. Mal drugged Fiona's tea, brought her to the honeymoon suite, and put her into the dumbwaiter. He sent her to the basement and left her there. The reason, as Bauman discovers when he finds his voice recorder on her body and plays it back, is that Fiona had recorded messages while she was trapped. She was pregnant. The father was Mal. He didn't want her to keep the baby and was afraid his wife would find out. So he locked her away where no one would ever look. Meanwhile, Jerry wakes up handcuffed in the back of a moving van. He works himself loose and jumps out. He starts making his way back to the hotel. Bauman is sealed inside the suite with no visible way out. Ghosts and sounds close and around him. Then the television turns on by itself. Jack the Jackass is on screen, the same old children's show, and it reads a letter aloud. The letter is from Bauman. It was written by a child. In it, the boy confesses that he accidentally shot his mother. He says his father hates him now, and he's scared all the time. The donkey's answer is simple and brutal. There's no help coming. You should be scared. Bauman sits with that and drinks. Then something small appears, a miniature version of the conquistador and the boy from his novel, pointing him toward the basement. The dumbwaiter is the only way down. Fiona's voice recording warns him there's no button on the other side. Once you go down, there's no way back up on your own. Bauman looks at the clock in the corner. The carved boy, the golf club, the bell. He positions the clock so that when the mechanism triggers on the hour, the swing of the club will press the dumbwaiter's call button instead of the bell. He moves Fiona's body carefully from the lift to a chair. Then he climbs in and descends. The basement is a long corridor lit by hanging lanterns. Trinkets and objects are suspended from the ceiling, things taken from hotel guests over time. Among them, Albie's lighter from the story he told about his own encounter with the lift. There is no exit. Fiona was right. Bauman finds a dead-end doorway etched all around with chalk. The chalk is left on the ground. He takes it. He sits and waits for the clock mechanism to bring him back up. Then he hears her, the witch, somewhere in the dark of the basement, getting closer, wailing, the clanking of shackles, breathing, cackling, getting closer. Just as the sound closes in completely, the clock triggers upstairs. The boy swings his club. The dumbwaiter begins to rise. Bauman rides it back up to the suite. He peers down the lift shaft. The witch is climbing the wall toward him. She chases him around the room. Bauman remembers what the folklore book said and uses the chalk to draw a circle around the bed. He gets onto it. She can't reach him inside the circle. She moves to the window and peers through the curtains from outside as morning comes. Downstairs, Mal finds Jerry at the honeymoon suite lift, trying to get up to Bauman. Mal tells him Bauman got drunk and has already been taken to the airport. He's gone home. But while Mal is speaking, the bell rings. Someone up there has pulled the cord. Jerry knows. He picks up an axe and tells Mal to give him the key. He goes up. Mal, alone now, sets fire to the hotel to erase everything. Then he picks up a crossbow and, as Jerry reaches the suite, shoots him. Jerry makes it through the door and drops. Bauman has the suite key. He rides the dumbwaiter back down to the basement, drawing Mal after him. If Mal wants the key to get out before the building burns, he has to follow. In the basement, Bauman tries to draw another chalk circle around himself. He doesn't finish it in time. The shackles snap around him. Mal searches the ceiling of the corridor for the hotel key, which he can see hanging among the trinkets. When he reaches for it, the witch shackles him too. She pulls him toward a door that wasn't there before. It opens into the dark. Things wait on the other side. Mal is pulled through. The witch walks past Bauman without taking him. Bauman sits on the floor in his unfinished circle. His mother appears beside him. Not threatening, not frightening. She puts her arm around him while he says it. It was an accident. I'm sorry. It was an accident. She tells him she knows and that he can't stay here. She places her hand against his chest. Then she's gone. In his jacket pocket, where she touched him, Bauman finds a small saw. He uses it to cut through the chain of shackles, gets himself free, grabs the key from the ceiling, and rides the clock mechanism back up to the suite. Fiona is in the chair where he placed her. Her eyes are open. When he steps back into the room, they're closed. Bauman escapes the suite into a hotel that is now fully on fire. The smoke overtakes him, and he collapses. Outside, Fergal has come back to the hotel. He hears a voice, Fiona's, calling his name. He follows it inside and finds Bauman on the floor. He drags him out. Bauman wakes up in a hospital bed. Albie comes to visit and brings a bottle, saying it's from Fergal. The remains of Jerry and Fiona were found in the burned hotel. There is no trace of Mal. Albie then tells Bauman something he's been sitting on. He spiked Bauman's flask that night with Jerry's magic mushrooms. It was retaliation for the spoon, for the cruelty. Bauman looks down at his wrists. The marks from the shackles are still there. This time, when Albie offers the bottle, Bauman tells him to take it away. Albie gives him one more thing before he goes. The photograph of Bauman's mother at the redwood tree, recovered from the fire. Bauman opens his laptop. He writes a new ending. We go back to the desert. The conquistador is standing over the boy, bottle raised, about to do what he was always going to do. But he stops. He hands the bottle to the boy and gets down on his knees instead, telling him to use it on him, to claim whatever is inside as his own. The boy lifts the bottle. He throws it away. They hold each other in the red circle and cry. Outside the circle, half buried in the sand, is the bottle. Beside it, the skull of a ram. The desert shifts. The film ends. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.